Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Anastasia here. I usually make videos about studies and careers in Europe, and specifically about France. Many of you ask me on Instagram about my personal professional path here in France. So in this video, I would like to walk through my path from carrying stuff at fashion weeks up to being a strategy consultant. And if you're now a foreign student in France, I know how you feel, and I was in your shoes. I also went through not understanding how the French job market works and not properly speaking French and not getting how to crack the codes and get my first internship and then my first job. So I wish I could tell myself, the Anastasia 8 years ago, that everything's gonna be fine. Just have to keep going and persevere and believe in yourself. So that's the message I want to tell you today. And here is my professional path in France. So let's start with my arrival to Paris in 2014 and the first weeks that looked like Emily in Paris that didn't exist at the time, and I just didn't know what's ahead. Back in Russia, I graduated from one of the best faculties in economics and finance, and I had a double degree with LSE and 2 really solid internships in Unilever and L'Oreal. So I thought looking for an internship will not be a big deal and companies would line up to hire me. The reality was all different. First, I struggled with French. I learned French before, but it was very complicated to speak on the phone, to pass the interviews, to get conversational French and all that. Second, I didn't know at all how the French recruitment works, how companies work, where and how to apply. I didn't have a proper French standard CV. And finally, I had no strategy for networking whatsoever. And one last point, I was studying at a fashion school that was really not considered prestigious, so I didn't pass a lot of screenings at the time. So when I was at the fashion school, one thing that was really useful were the internships during Fashion Week that helped me understand that I did not want to work in fashion, actually. During Fashion Week, it's quite easy in Paris to find an internship. All the brands want people that will do small tasks and small jobs for free or almost for free. So you can find it yourself on different websites, or I was actually easily finding them through my fashion school. So I dressed models, carried bags and dresses and carried chairs and prepared tables for dinners and special seats and spent hours standing in different showrooms. And I think the most original thing was putting the mirror scotch on about 100 chairs for Berluzzi show. Or maybe another one when actually all the interns were called by Issei Miyake to come to the show place at night, where we, the interns, would actually walk instead of models so that the show directors could plan different things, lights and the precise minutes of the show. And I was actually paid 50 euros for that night. Professionally speaking, I was more interested in the beauty industry because I found that marketing was more exciting, dynamic, and less controlled by the artistic director in the beauty industry rather than in fashion. So after my internship in Moscow in L'Oreal, the only thing I dreamt about was to get into L'Oreal headquarters. So I applied through the website and through people and through networking, and many people actually think that Moscow office kind of pushed me to the Parisian one, but it's not true. They didn't have any impact on the decision of HRs here in Paris. So at some point I got that famous rejection email, you know, the automatic email saying, unfortunately, despite all your brilliant qualities, we're not gonna hire you. And I thought that was it, so that was over, no chance. And I got a call from L'Oreal HR a few days later. I think it's because I also applied through networking, actually. A current intern who I also knew from Moscow recommended me, and maybe my school didn't pass the screening filters, but when they saw that I had L'Oreal Russia in my CV, they actually called me back. Because, jumping a bit ahead, I was the only person among all the interns I met in L'Oreal who didn't do a big business school with a huge name, which I did later. And then I had several physical and phone interviews, and they were all quite challenging, especially the phone ones. Some questions I got were, what do you think was the best and the worst perfume launch of the year? And imagine you don't know the sales numbers, so complicated to say, it's just your intuition. Or what was the advertising campaign that grasped your attention recently? Or here's the new visual of Armani Code, what do you think about it? Can you comment on this? Or here's a sample of a new perfume, can you comment on it? What do you think about it? And what is your favorite brand of L'Oreal Group, and what would you change in its strategy, and things like that. It's quite complicated, quite challenging, so you really have to be into beauty and perfume industry. So I passed many interviews, and then I got a call from HR saying that my French is not enough, but they recommend me to an English-speaking team. So I passed again a round of interviews, and I was finally hired as an intern for Giorgio Armani skincare marketing development team. And yes, Armani is part of L'Oreal. In case you didn't know, L'Oreal is a big group that unites a lot of brands. All these brands, luxury and mass market and professional brands. So it was very exciting to be part of it. Was it like Devil Wears Prada? Yes, yes, a lot. Did I like my internship? Yes, I loved it. I created names and packagings and formulas and tested different formulas for creams. And I also packed a lot of heavy boxes to be sent to Mr. Giorgio Armani himself in Milan. I made presentations, I worked with PR and retail teams and digital teams, and it was all quite exciting. And it's also my colleagues through L'Oreal that I met through L'Oreal who recommended me to pursue my studies in a business school in France. So big impact on my life. Next step, we moved to 9 months later when I integrated ESSEC Business School, which is one of the top 3 best business schools in France. And for a number of reasons, I didn't go to HEC, and I have plenty of videos about ESSEC. So I will not go into the details of the program and my admission here, but here's my video about my personal experience at ESSEC, and here's another one that explains everything you need to do to apply for a master such as MIM in ESSEC. ESSEC was of a massive importance for my career because it helped me pass almost all the screenings I wanted. It created an amazing, very strong network for me. I went through a specific luxury management program within ESSEC MIM. And one of the most important things is that I worked and studied at the same time at ESSEC through apprenticeship contract, which also paid my tuition fees. I have a specific video here about what is an apprenticeship and how does it work, but I will not get into these details here, but I will explain you what actually did I do during this 2 years contract. So I spent 6 months looking for my apprenticeship from January to June approximately, because I was quite picky. I wanted to work in luxury, ideally in beauty, and not all companies and not all teams actually have this opportunity. I didn't want to go back to L'Oreal because I already did 2 internships there and I wanted to try something else. So after a lot of searches and some contracts that actually ESSEC didn't approve because of some administrative reasons, I ended up in Printemps. Printemps is a historical luxury department store in Paris that is more than 150 years old. And it's definitely a part of the French legendary luxury landscape. I worked for Printemps for 2 years and I keep a very fond memory of it. In my first year, I was a beauty buyer. Buyers are the people who decide what brands and products will be present in the store. It's a lot of commercial negotiation, that's the biggest part of it, a lot of analytics of sales, of brand performance, and decisions to make what precise products and brands we keep, move, remove from the store and stuff. It's also about how do we do retail and trade marketing. We were, for example, invited to all the big brands' presentations of the new products that were about to be on the market, like 6-8 months before their launch. So I was always on top of everything that's going on, and I've been to such presentations at Estée Lauder, Dior, and LVMH fragrance brands. So that was very exciting. The best part of it was that after a few months I was trusted with my own little portfolio of brands and my space in the store. And since it was small brands, I actually had to go look for other brands that we would like to bring in. And yes, I spent part of my work time on beauty blogs, and I would contact the brand saying, hi, we're Printemps, we are interested in your products. And they would send huge box of products and creams and cosmetics and makeup and stuff, and that we would try with the whole team. And then I would present my selection to the director of beauty buying. That was an amazing part of it, and actually as part of my job I went to Italy, to Bologna, to a huge cosmetics salon, professional exhibition where we met a lot of different brands. So that was a very exciting part. For my second year, I moved to the CRM and digital marketing and data team. I was interested in marketing, so I wanted to try something new, something very different from what I did in L'Oreal, and that was exactly the case. I found out how a data team works and why is it necessary for marketing, and how to build precise audiences, how to do deep analytics, because there was a huge data team in Printemps, and that was quite exciting. I learned a lot, not only about data, but also about CRM, acquisition, loyalty programs, and email marketing, and a bit of HTML, so there was a lot of learnings in it. And then I had to take a decision on what to do next. I had three possible paths: going to beauty brands as a CRM or digital marketing manager, doing marketing or CRM in other industries, or going to consulting. Actually, I didn't want to be in operational marketing anymore. I was always interested in more strategic questions, and the easiest way, the fastest way to get to these questions was to go to consulting. It's also a challenging job where you see very different industries and different projects, and I wanted to actually see something else rather than luxury. I will make a separate video about consulting market in France and what are the different firms and their different specializations. But in my case, I went into a small niche firm that was specialized in strategy, marketing, and data, which is called Equancy. And that was exactly what I was looking for. I didn't want to go to a big firm. I wanted to be more in a family kind of small company where you are close to your managers and partners. And I was also looking for a specific specialization or clients that would be interesting for me. So there are not so many firms like that, actually, especially those who would work a little bit with luxury. And I met Equancy at the career fair at ESSEC. So again, that's why ESSEC was so crucial in my career path. I met several consultants who were present at the stand, and then I went through interviews, case interviews, and that definitely deserves a specific video. And if you're interested in applying to consulting, let me know in the comments, and I will go through more precisely different and how to prepare, because I passed many interviews in other firms as well. I got my offer around April for October, so months actually before my graduation. In my first year there, I was mostly working on short-term strategic marketing projects, such as web marketing strategy, or analysis of a business model, or benchmarking different business models, or building a data strategy for several years. And I was working in the company's office together with someone senior, a manager or a director. And basically in that case, a consultant job consists of analysis of the situation, interviewing the client, problem solving, and drawing a lot of PowerPoint slides. And then in the second year, someone told me that there is a project for me, and because for a year I was telling that I would like to work in luxury, and they told me, Anastasia, there is something perfect for you. I dreamt to work for this company, the biggest luxury corporation in the world, with its headquarters office on Avenue Montaigne, the most famous fashion street in Paris. I was totally overwhelmed when I first got there. I passed the interviews, I was selected, and I ended up being a project manager in LVMH for data and artificial intelligence project for 10 months. And if you don't know what a program manager in data and IT means, Believe me, I was in the same situation. That's the challenge of a consulting job. You don't know where you're going to end up, you don't know what's going to be the next industry, the next project, and you have to learn on the spot. So I didn't know how to be a program manager. I didn't have any experience in advanced data and IT topics, and I had a team of people, data scientists, analysts, data engineers, marketing specialists, and a client, one of the brands of the group. And I have to orchestrate all that. And it took me a while, and after 4 months I was more at ease with the project, and it was actually amazing. It was the most challenging, the most complicated project in my career, and definitely the one where I learned the most. So it was amazing. What we were doing is that we worked on an artificial intelligence solution that would make better and more effective marketing campaigns. I guess that was the shortest and the simplest explanation of what I tried to do there for 10 months. And I also don't want to overwhelm you with a lot of IT terms that I heard during this month. Then I did a few other projects, and the rest is history. I quit my consulting job in 2022. During all this time when I was on apprenticeship, when I started working in consulting, I had my previous blog, and I was already helping international students come to France. And so in 2022, I quit to be full-time on this project and help other people who come to France like I did back in 2014, and help you on the way through admissions and your career. Thank you guys for watching. I hope this video was useful and inspiring for you. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me on Instagram or on LinkedIn. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye! Once I was trusted with my own little space, and there is a noise outside.